We were really dedicated to it, so it was more so like that's what practice was about. It was about practicing the script.
Jim Staley said, and this got over 200 likes, for the last 10 years or so, the NFL is no longer a sport or competition. It is a form of entertainment that the outcome is predetermined by Las Vegas. So a couple of days ago, we made a video titled, "The NFL Has a Problem." Now, what is that problem, you may ask? Well, it has a little bit to do with a lot of people out there feel like the NFL is rigged. And the interesting part about it, and it's the main reason I made that video, is because the people that believe the NFL is rigged is at an all-time high. To give you an example and to put it into a better perspective, I'd say 6, 7, 8 years ago, maybe 2% of the people that watch the NFL thought it may be rigged. But fast forward in time to our current date, I'd say that number is up around 7 or 8%. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. I know exactly what you're sitting there saying. Yo, Matt, a 2% jump to 6 or 7%, that's nothing major. And I do agree, when it comes out of my mouth, when you hear it, it doesn't sound major, but you got to think about how many people actually watch the game. When you're talking about millions of people, yeah, going from 2% to 6, 7, 8% is a big difference. If you want to hear more information on that, if you haven't already, go check out the previous video. It's as simple as that. In today's video, we're here to talk about how these NFL players, they are straight up admitting that the NFL is rigged. Ironically enough, and I should have saw this coming, right after we posted that video, NFL players started coming out and saying that the NFL gives them a script before the season. We're going to talk all about that because obviously, duh, it's a debatable topic, and that's what we're here for. That's what this channel's about. That's what our community is about. I want to hear your guys' opinions down below. But also, I'm going to ask you guys a question, and please let me know your thoughts down below because I love hearing your input. How much of this do you actually believe and how much do you think is true? I love making videos like these and it seems like you guys are enjoying them. So as long as you keep watching and enjoying, we're going to make them. We got a lot to talk about. All right, Matt, blah, blah, blah. Shut your crap up. Now without further ado, let's get into it. Real quick, before we get into things, I want to say I really appreciate these 2 comments on the previous video. One of those being from Shane Thompson, where he said, "Appreciate your work, Matt. You grind tirelessly for us to get amazing content." Number 1, I appreciate those kind words, Mr. Shane. And number 2, yeah, I will say I do work really hard to make the content I do make, but it makes it 10 times better when you guys enjoy it as well. Of course, I love making videos, but it makes it a little bit sweeter knowing that we got one of the best communities out there and you guys always give me tons of feedback. Little comments like that, whether it's on YouTube or Twitter, it really means a lot to me, so thank you, Mr. Shane. And the second comment I want to show you guys is from Jacob R. He said, "Stay based, Matt. Don't ever be afraid to speak your truth. We are here for it." Major shout out to Jacob and Shane. I really like that last one too because that's what I'm about. You can say what you want about me. We may have our disagreements. You may think one video I'm an idiot. The next video I say something you agree with, but I'm always going to keep it real. I'm here to tell it how it is. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. I'm here to give you the truth. Moving along here, let's get down to business and let's lock in. So recently, an NFL player that goes by the name of Arian Foster, he came out and said that the NFL gives the players a script before the season. You know what? Hold on. How about we do this? Matt, just roll the clip and then we'll talk about it.
It's funny, before we started taping, Arian was telling me about how the NFL is rigged and how every year he used to get a script. Yeah. Day 1 of training camp that would get dropped off at his locker. And you would have to, it was like week 1, you'll do this. Week 2, you're going to have a hamstring injury. Week 3, this is going to happen. Yeah. Week 4, you're going to get 3 touchdowns. And so then you just have to, did you memorize those before the season started? Or would you go and rehearse the script before every game? We were really dedicated to it. So it was more so like, that's what practice was about. It was about practicing the script. Like, this is what goes on and this is what we have to do in order to, And this referee is going to miss this call because they hate you and they love the Colts, that sort of thing. WWF, so it's like, you know, we know what's going to happen, but you still got to put on a show. Yeah.
What did you think when you got the script in 2016 that said your career was going to fall off a cliff when you stopped believing in God?
That was 2015.
Yeah.
Before we go any farther, I want to make this extremely clear for those of you that can't understand sarcasm. This is sarcasm. He's not being serious. This is obviously a joke. Now, that doesn't take away the fact that I believe the NFL could be rigged, but what he said, he was joking. Because when you really think about it, it is dang near, no, it's not even dang near, it is impossible to have a script and rig the NFL season from week 1 to week whatever, 17 now. Or how many weeks is there in the NFL? I don't know. I think there's 18, 19. You get the point. You just simply can't rig every single game, and I'm going to stand on that to the day I die. You can't rig it to where the Patriots go 9-7. That's just not going to happen. But, and I have a big but, hear me out. Here's what I do believe in. you can rig a game or two. You can, for example, rig it to where the Bengals don't make it into the postseason because they're not a high market team. You can rig it to where the Los Angeles Rams make the playoffs because they're a new team in a big market over the Saints. You can easily, without a single doubt in my mind, rig one game. If you want to believe and there's a script they give the players before the season, that's cool. I don't believe in that personally. That's just something I couldn't get behind, but I can definitely get behind a game. We talked about this a couple of days ago, the conspiracy theory about how the NBA rigged it so the Lakers could beat the Sacramento Kings. Because why in the world would the NBA want the Sacramento Kings to make the finals over the Lakers? It would be terrible for ratings. That right there is a conspiracy theory that I can get behind 10,000%. And the reason for this is fairly simple, and y'all know this. Anytime we talk about something on this channel, I always give you facts and evidence to back it up. I don't just sit up here and say, oh, I think this team is overrated or this team sucks without some evidence to go with those claims. My reasoning behind the Lakers and the Sacramento Kings series could have been rigged is because money runs the world. The NBA would have lost money if the Kings would have made the finals, and that's all there is to it. Getting back on track here with the NFL, it's the same thing with the Saints and the Rams years ago. When was it? I think 2018? And y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't want to go too deep into detail because it pisses me off on that no call pass interference. That cost them the game. It did. It cost them the game. And the anti-conspiracy theorists are going to say, well, how do you rig an entire game? Here's my counter argument to that. You don't understand. All it takes is for 1-2 calls here or there, and you can rig it for a team to win. Because here's what happens. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it. Let's just use the Chiefs and the Bengals game, for example. Let's just say, for example, Roger Goodell, he's talking to the refs before the Chiefs and Bengals games, and he's telling them, okay, if it comes down to it, we want the Chiefs to win, so do what you want with that information. Well, obviously, and you see this more times than not, you're never going to see a lot of these terrible calls in the first half. Think about it. Why is that? Because in reality, they're just going to let the first half play out because one bad call here and there is not going to be a huge outcome on the game. But after halftime, late in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter especially, have y'all not found it fishy? That's when all the bad calls happen. You rarely see a bad call in the first quarter. Yeah, you're going to see one here and there, but nothing like the fourth quarter. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Am I the only one who thinks that's strange? Continuing along here, if the Bengals are blowing out the Chiefs, well, they're not going to make a bad call here and there because it doesn't matter. However, I do believe this, Roger Goodell or whoever tells them, hey, if it's close, you know what to do. That's where I stand on it. I don't believe in a script, but there's definitely somebody talking to these refs saying, hey, if it's a close game, do what you got to do. Now, getting back on track here with Mr. Arian Foster, this had everybody talking. This blew up all over social media. It even got to the point where NFL players were mocking it, saying, oh, well, this is what I did when I got the script and blah, 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 blah. I'm not even going to show you all that. I want to show you and share some of these comments below the post. This guy said, every conspiracy theory in the U.S. is a fact. NFL is a business, so it's rigged. Under that, somebody stated, I mean, isn't the NFL an entertainment company? Wouldn't surprise me at all if it's scripted. But then again, there's people that think the WWE is real. But, and I have another big but, I want to show you, and I want you to check out some of these comments on my previous video. These are the ones that really fascinate me. Jim Staley said, and this got over 200 likes, for the last 10 years or so, the NFL is no longer a sport or competition. It is a form of entertainment that the outcome is predetermined by Las Vegas. You know what I got to say about that? To the people that don't believe that statement, what is your counter argument? Here's what I immediately thought of when I read that. Think about it. The past 10 years, like this person said, the NFL players, they're more friendlier, is that the right word? Or they're friendlier than ever before. The past 10 years or so, all these quarterbacks, wide receivers, everyone, they're trading jerseys after the games. And sometimes you can't even tell who lost the game because they all got smiles on their faces. And hey, I'm not a hater. I'd be smiling too if I was getting paid $10, $15 million a year to lose a game. I wouldn't care about the game. The game means nothing at that point. Well, let me change that statement. It does matter, but you get what I'm trying to say. Players, they're always smiling. Whereas when I was a kid growing up, a lot of these players, they were out to kill you on every single play. You never saw Ray Lewis, one of the best linebackers of all time, smiling after losing a game. Another great example is RIP, but Sean Taylor. And the list goes on and on. You get what I'm saying. 20 years ago, the NFL was actually a serious game. These guys were out to destroy you and your team. There was none of this friendliness that's going on now. But nowadays, the closest thing we got to that is Eli freaking Apple and whoever he's going up against. And I don't even take that serious because I don't think anybody takes Eli Apple serious. Is he a good football player? Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. It's Eli Apple. My point is, in all this, there's no bad blood, there's no animosity like there was years and years ago. Here's another great comment. It's long, but it's worth the read. I I used to be a huge football fan of both pro and college, but now I only watch college football. The NFL is rigged and it's been going on for a long time, but with the gambling it's gotten much worse, and I do agree. The NFL loves a good story, and now they have 2 stories for this year's Super Bowl. Andy Reid being the coach of both teams and the Kelsey brothers being on different teams in the game. Also, Philadelphia is called the city of quote-unquote brotherly love. It's bad. Or my bad, they meant to say it's bad, Matt, comma, it's getting worse. It's true the older you get, the more you realize the truth, and that's how I am. I've told you guys this. I've told you guys the older I get, the more mature I get, the more I start to understand there's a lot of BS that goes on in this world. I can go on and on, but here's one of the last comments I'm going to read, and this is from David. He stated, maybe the best example was 4 years ago with the Saints and Rams no-call game. League had a huge interest in building fan base in a big market, Los Angeles, which I stated earlier would have been overturned in 30 seconds in the Canadian Football League. Many of my friends went from watching 2 to 3 games a week to maybe watching 1 a month. I want to speak on that because that's how me and my friends are. When I tell you never, I mean never, ever, ever do me and my friends miss a Saturday of college football. Never, unless there's something crazy going on, like a wedding, for example, which if you have a wedding in the fall, I'm not coming, so don't invite me. But anyways, that's besides the point. You get my point. College football, I love it to death, and you guys know this. But for the NFL, me and my buddies, we rarely talk about it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy watching the NFL, but if I miss a Sunday, I don't really care. Going back to David's point, I agree with him on the fact that a lot of people are starting to gravitate towards the college game. Because at the college level, at least for now, hopefully it doesn't change or get this bad, it doesn't feel like there's rigging going on. I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't worried though, because now college, it's turning into a business like the NFL. With the transfer portal, that's basically the free agency, and now we're paying players, and that's the same thing as a salary cap. Overall, I think the college level is going to be a-okay, at least for now, and I'm going to end the video off with this because it's already been way too long. I don't think the NFL has helped itself the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and if anything, it's lost a ton of credibility. Now, on the grand scheme of things, does that really matter? Not really, and I'm going to explain why, because people are still going to watch, and that's all they care about. They don't care if you think it's rigged or not. As long as you watch, that's how they make money. But the point is, and a lot of people said this, and I saw it, the NFL is starting to feel like the WWE. Do what you want with that information. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. Bye.